All right, Unit 2 review. First few say to graph the following equations and inequalities, and that's it. So looking at number 1, y equals 3 over 2x plus 2. What's the first thing I need to do? Plot the 2 where? On the y-axis. Good. Now what? Up 3 over 2 because my slope is 3 over 2. So up 3 over 2. I can make a few more points if I want to. The opposite of going up 3 and right 2 is
down 3 and left 2.
Good. And that's my line. So since that was an equation, do I have any shading?
No.
Nope. I'm done. All right, number 2. What's my b value? 4. So I'm going to put a point on the 4. My slope is -5 over 1. So that means to go down 5, right 1. Good. The opposite of that would be up 5 and left 1. Good. Okay. What kind of line is this going to be? It's a greater than or equal to, which means it's solid or dashed. Solid. So I'll go ahead and make a solid line. And then we said it's greater than or equal to, which means I'm shading above the line or below it. Above. My y values that are above this, because they're greater than, which means I'm going to be shading this part of the line. Okay, so start by shading that y-axis, and then it'll tell you which side you're on. Questions on those two? Nope. Did we all get those? Yeah? Good deal. Next one. Can I graph this in the form that it's in? No. What do I need to do? Yep. I need y by itself. How do I get y by itself? Subtract the 3x. So I end up with negative 4y is less than negative 3x plus 8. Divide by negative 4. Good. So now I end up with y greater than. Why is it greater than?
Because the signs flip when they both are negative.
Yep, the signs flip when we divide by a negative. If you don't have this down, please make sure that you are writing and not sleeping. Okay. Negative 3 over negative 4. What happens there?
It becomes positive 3 over 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a positive 3 over 4x. And then 8 divided by negative 4? Negative 2. Good. So, first thing I need to plot is my negative 2, my b value. Good. My slope is
3 over 4.
3 over 4, which means to go?
Up 3 over 4.
Up 3 over 4. Good. Dashed or solid line? Dashed. Shade above or below? Above. Y is greater than, which means up. Okay. Next one. Is this in a form I can graph? No. What do I need to do? Subtract the 3x. So 2y equals negative 3x plus 8. Now what? Divide by 2. So y equals negative 3/2 x plus 4. My b value is 4. My slope is? Yep, so down 3, right 2. And it's an equal sign, which means a dashed line. Or sorry, not dash, a solid line. One other thing we could have done on this one, if we didn't solve for y, did anybody use standard form and plug in the zeros to find the intercepts? No? Forgot about that. Could I have done that though? Yeah, so let me just real quick show you. If I plugged in, whoa, there we go. If I plug in 0 for y, just becomes 3x equals 8, or x equals 8/3, so 8/3, comma 0, and then plug in 0 for x. Whoa.
Uh-oh. Someone's haunting their wall.
2y equals 8, so y is 4, which just means 0, comma 4. Yeah, and that would be this point and this point right here. So I'd still have the same line. Okay, that's an option. Moving right along. A lot of us got this one. I walked around and looked as we were doing this. So x equals 4. What do we do? What did we do? Yep. Go to where x is 4. And this is a vertical or horizontal line? Vertical, VUX. It starts with x equals. It should be just like that. Okay. Next one. What'd you do? Got y by itself by doing what? Subtract the 4x. So now I just have y equals negative 4x plus 0, or just y equals negative 4x. What's the b value? 0. And the slope? So down 4/1. Or up 4 and left 1. Good. Raise your hand if you got those two. Good deal. If you didn't get them, make sure you got them down. All right, 7 and 8. Y is greater than negative 3. What'd you do here? Good, and then a horizontal line. What kind of line? Dash, right? Because it's just greater than, not greater than or equal to. Good. It started with y, so it was a HOI, right? Horizontal, 0 slope, y equals. But it's not y equals, it's y greater than, which means I'm shading up or down? Up. The values that are greater than is going to be shading up. Okay. Number 8. What do we do here? Get y by itself by doing what? Moving the 4x. Do you subtract it over? So you got negative 3y is less than negative 4x plus 3. Now what? What's next? Divide by negative 3. Okay. So we end up with y is greater than or less than? Greater than, because it's got to flip. Negative 4 over negative 3 just becomes positive, right? And then 3 divided by negative 3. Ooh. Negative 1. You're good. B value. Negative 1. And my slope. So go up 4, right 3. What kind of line? Dash. And another greater than. Shading up or down? Up. Questions on those? Is everybody good on how to do ones that look like that? Next up, we have write a linear equation given the following information. So they tell me the slope and they told me the y-intercept is 5. How would I put that in an equation? Yep, so my equation is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So if they told me the slope is 2/3, it's just going to be 2 over 3 x plus 5.
Did do it.
Good. Okay. The next one, is that in y equals mx plus b? No, so I need to get it in there. How would I do that? Yeah, we'll distribute first. So negative 2 times x. Negative 2 times 5. Yep, minus 10. So y plus 6 equals negative 2x minus 10. Am I done? No, what do I need to do? Yep, move that 6 over. So y equals negative 2x minus 16. Good. Raise your hand if you got those two. Good. If you didn't, make sure you got it down. Know what you did wrong. Okay. Getting into the trickier stuff. Number 11, a line that passes through these 2 points. What's the first thing we got to do? If we've got 2 points, how do I even find the slope? Yep, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you might write that formula over to the side so that you have it. I wrote it up there on the board too. Okay, so now I just need to label these points, right? So my very first point is going to have x1, y1. My second point is going to have x2, y2. Now plug those in for me. What's on top? 7. Yep, 7 minus a negative 3 is 7 plus 3, good. And then on bottom, 4 minus 9. 7 plus 3 is? 4 minus 9 is? And what does that become? Negative 2. Okay, so now I've got my slope equals negative 2. But how do I find the b? What do we do if we know point and the slope? Can't we just plug it in? So if I go here, y equals negative 2x, I don't know what b is. Go to my point. My y is negative 3. My x is 9. Negative 2 times 9 is negative 18 plus b equals negative 3. Then I just got to add that 18 over. Negative 3 plus 18. Negative 15. No, positive 15. Negative 3 plus 18. We added the 18 over. Yep. Okay. So now it is just, my equation is y equals negative 2x plus 15, right? You with me? I didn't leave a lot of room to do that one. I wrote too big. Okay. We will pick back up when we get back from lunch. All right, so through the point 2, 3, and perpendicular to the line y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Okay, so we're just writing this in an equation. So first I need the slope. What's the slope? It's going to be perpendicular. Negative 4 over 1. Good. Or just negative 4. Okay, so now I've got the slope. I don't know what b is, so what am I going to do to find b? Plug in a point. So 2, 3. What's going in for y? Equals negative 4 times. What is negative 4 times 2? And what's b going to be? Yep, we add that 8 over. B's 11. So for my final answer, I need to put y equals plus 11. Good. Y equals negative 4x plus 11. Okay, moving right on down. I'm gonna erase a little bit of this so I can read it. Passes through the point 7, -5, and the origin. Whoa. How am I gonna do this one?
What is that?
Number 13.
Question. This thing will be on the test.
Yep. So one that passes through the point 7, -5, and the origin. What is the origin?
0.
That's just 0, 0. So now this just is 2 points, right? And what do I do if I have 2 points? Hint, hint, hint. Plug it in?
Yep.
Yes. So it doesn't matter which point I pick is the first one and the second one, just as long as I stay consistent. So we'll do x1, y1, x2, y2. So -5 minus 0 over 7 minus 0. You with me? What's -5 minus 0? What's 7 minus 0? Ooh, just positive 7, right?
What if we have the n equals and all that flipped like this?
Yep, that's totally fine. So if you picked the first point as the second point, it doesn't matter just as long as you stay consistent. You still should have got a -5 over 7 though, right?
I got a 5 over -7.
Yeah, 5 over -7, so you can just bring that negative up.
Oh,
Yep. Good question. Okay, so now I know my slope, so I'm going to write that with x. I don't know what b is. Which point do we think would be the easiest to plug in? Zero, 0, or 7, -5?
7, -5.
You think that's easier?
No, 7 or 0.
I think 0 would be easier, because watch what's going to happen. What's -5, 7 times 0? 0. So b plus 0 equals 0. So b is just 0. You with me?
Yeah.
So my answer is just going to be y equals -5 over 7x. You could write the plus 0, but you don't have to. That is the answer. Okay. Last one on this page, parallel to the line 3/4 x minus 3 and passes through the point 8, -3. This one's a little bit easier. If it's parallel, what's the slope going to be?
the same.
The same. So it's just going to be 3/4. Now what? Y equals y equals mx plus b. What's m?
3 over 4.
Do I know what b is yet? Nope. So I need to. What should I do?
-3 equals 6.
Okay. 3/4 times 8.
6.
6. What's b going to be? -9. So our final equation is y equals. Perfect. Bless you. Y equals 3/4 x minus 9. Questions on that? Raise your hand if you got that one. Good. If you didn't get that one, make sure you understand why. Okay. Next up, we got what we did last class period, which is just write a linear inequality given the following information. Okay. Starting off, what do I know here? Let's just start off with the b value. Let's pretend that we were graphing it ourselves. Okay, we'll just work backwards. So we start off with b. What is b? 1. It's right here. How do I find the slope? Rise over run. So I need to find another point on this line. Which one did you pick? -2.
Or 2 over 3.
How about this point? Or -3, -2, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So rise over run to get from one point to the other. I'm gonna rise 2, run 3. So my slope is 2/3. Okay. Yep. Y, leave a space. Mx plus b. And then what's gonna go in that space? Greater than or equal to. We're shading above, and it's a solid line. So that's why it's equal to. Okay. Next one. Same thing. What's b? 2. Slope, I just need to pick another point. I'm going to pick this one. What is my rise over run? Up 3 over 2. Which is 3/2, right? So we got? So if you did -3, so for instance, you went down 3, you'd then have to go left 2. So this would end up being a -3 over -2, which would still be positive. And we see that this line's going up from left to right, so we want that to be positive slope. Okay? So now, y, leave a space, 3/2 x plus 2, right? What's going to go in my space? Greater than or equal to. Okay, moving right along. Same thing here. What's b? B is -1. What's my slope going to be on this one? 2 over -1 or just -2, right? Okay, so down to right 1. Good. Y, leave a space, -2x minus 1. What's going in my space here? Careful. My shading, look at just the y-axis. So the shading is going up, right? So just greater than. Is it equal to? No, because it's a dashed line. All right, next one. B is -2. Slope is? Okay. 1/5. Good. So if you pick a point, up 1 over 5. Y space 1/5 x minus 2. What's going to go there? Less than. Questions on that? All right. Last page. Word problem. There will be one just like this on the test. It's pretty simple though. Don't let the words trip you up. Okay. I know I'm funny. Agent Hendricks transferred classified files from the CIA mainframe onto his flash drive. Okay, not important. The flash drive already had 50 megabytes on it before the transfer. That's probably important. I'm going to underline it. And an additional 6 megabytes were transferred onto it each second. Each is a key word. I'm going to underline each second. Okay? So in the context, what's the y-intercept? What's the slope? Think about this. In my equation, y equals mx plus b. Which value's changing and which value's just there already? What's being multiplied here? So just in this equation, y equals mx plus b. Aren't m and x being multiplied together? Do we see that? And then b is just being added at the end? Okay. So we know b is the y-intercept. Is the 50 being added or the 6? The 50, right? Because it was already there. Okay, so no matter how many seconds are going to go by, that 50 is still going to be constant. So that's going to be my y-intercept. And then my slope is what's changing. So if I know it's 6 megabytes each second, well, I don't know how many seconds, right? And that's going to be changing. So my slope is going to be just the 6, right? Does that make sense? Okay. So whenever you see this problem on the test, think about which one is changing, so which one's going to be written with the x, okay? And then which one's just already there, just being added at the end, okay? So now if we had to write this as an equation, how would we write it? Y equals 6x plus 50. Now they want me to graph it and use an appropriate scale. Okay, so if we know that 50 is going to be on our y-axis, 50 is probably going to be what is labeled as our y-axis. So it says 50 megabytes, so I'm going to write megabytes right here.
Our graph is cut off.
Yeah,
Your graph is cut off?
Yeah.
Okay, just don't worry about it then. Just watch me do this, okay? Just help me through it. So I'm going to put megabytes here. And then on my x-axis, what is my variable? X. 6 megabytes per second. So I'm going to put seconds here. Okay? And then for the scale, you can pretty much do anything just as long as your y-axis includes that b value and a little bit of room above it. Okay? So I need to at least go up to 50 and probably a little bit above that. So I might just go up by tens. So I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay? And then for seconds, I might just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep going. I'm not going to label all of them. So now, go up, put my b-axis on, which is on 50. My slope is up 6 over 1, so it's going to be like right about there. And I'm just going to draw a line. And then it says, how many megabytes would be on the flash drive after 3 minutes? Okay, so that one's kind of tricky. 3 minutes is how many seconds?
360 seconds.
So it'd be 180 because there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, right? Okay, so what I need to know is after 180 seconds, what does y equal? Okay, with me? So we just solve that, and whatever that is, that would be our answer. And we'd label it with megabytes. Okay, that's it. Your test is next class. Good luck. You're gonna do great.